Hello
Hello,
everyone.
everyone. Hello, everyone. In the last lecture, we had discussed about the introduction of this course, data warehousing and mining. So, we had discussed about the definition of a data warehouse as to what do you mean by a data warehouse. We had also discussed about all the keywords which are useful in defining a particular data warehouse. In today's lecture, we will start with OLTP and OLAP. So, OLTP stands for Online Transaction Processing, and it manages our day-to-day operations with very fast, simple transactions. So, you must be. So, let's take an example here. This we are buying or purchasing a particular product, or maybe I'm trying to buy a particular book online from a website there. After I select a particular book, I need to proceed further. So for proceeding, I need to select or I need to check for the author, the maybe publisher, the price, etc. And the final step of my purchase is the payment, which is the financial transaction. So that is an example of online transaction processing. So we all make use of this OLTP every day in our day-to-day life. Okay. So OLTP stands for Online Transaction Processing, and it manages our day-to-day operations with fast, simple transactions. So in DBMS, as we discussed in our previous lecture, that data are of two types: structured data and unstructured data, or we can say sorted data and unsorted data. So what we are doing in DBMS is we are creating a sorted set of data, and we are processing with certain types of queries by using any of the structured query languages, right? Or we can say that we are creating relational tables, of which means it is the structured data. So, OLTP, online transaction processing, it manages our day-to-day operations with fast, simple transactions. In our DBMS, we were just limited to OLTP. Now, since we are proceeding further for data warehouse course, so here you should be familiar with this term OLAP. OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing, and it handles complex multidimensional analysis for business intelligence and reporting on historical data. So remember that OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing, and it helps us to handle complex data, and which is eventually helping us to make better business decisions. So it is providing a good business decision support. This is the differentiation between OLTP and OLAP. So this OLTP and OLAP are differentiated by various categories here. The users of OLTP are the basically clerks, IT professionals. So you can also relate that in this way, that entry level professionals here make use of OLTP. We can also say customers also make use of OLTP, right? So OLAP, whereas knowledge workers are the users of OLAP. The functions of OLTP are basically it is used in our day-to-day operations, whereas OLAP is only used for business decision support. Okay, decision support. The database design for OLTP is application oriented, whereas for OLAP it is subject oriented. The data which OLTP provides is the current up-to-date data. So it is actually flat relational or isolated data. Whereas OLAP, it gives you a view of historical data. So it provides summarized, multidimensional, integrated data. The usage of OLTP is repetitive, whereas OLAP is ad hoc. So repetitive means it is used in our day-to-day life, whereas in OLAP, we only make use of OLAP when we require any kind of a business decision support. The access of OLTP, which OLTP gives is read, write, or maybe indexing, hashing, or primary key. Whereas OLAP, it gives you lots of scans. The unit of work here, you can observe here that it is short, simple transaction, whereas OLAP, it gives you complex queries. The records accessed by OLTP are tens of records, whereas for OLAP, it is millions of records. The users of OLTP, it ranges up to maybe thousands, whereas in OLAP, it ranges up to hundreds. And gigabyte, whereas for OLAP it is 100 gigabyte to terabyte. The metrics used for OLTP is transaction throughput, and the metrics used for OLAP is query throughput or response. Now you must have a question that why do we require a separate data warehouse? So the performances, okay, we can see here that DBMS and a warehouse. We are shifted from DBMS to a warehouse here. So high performance for both the systems here. For database management system, it is tuned for OLTP, which provides access methods, indexing, concurrency control, and recovery. Whereas a warehouse, it is tuned for OLAP, complex OLAP queries, multidimensional view, and consolidation. Different functions and different data are given here. Missing data, data consolidation, and data quality. So this missing data, basically decision support, it requires, we know that for making use of OLAP, OLAP gives us historical data, right? And for one of the keywords over here in the data warehouse is also that historical data is given for decision support. So missing data, decision support requires historical data, which the operational databases do not typically maintain. So as you can see here, OLTP, you can relate this. Operational databases, OLTP, makes use of OLTP, right? Data consolidation. Here the data system requires consolidation, which means aggregation or summarization of the data from heterogeneous sources. So heterogeneous sources, it can be of file format, it can be relational file, Excel file, different types of file formats. Okay, then the data quality. The different sources here use inconsistent data, representations, codes, and formats, which can be reconciled. A note here to be, you need to observe here that there are more and more systems which perform OLAP analysis directly on relational databases. So as you can see here, this is a multi-tier data warehouse architecture. So a multi-tier data warehouse architecture is composed of four components: data sources, data storage, OLAP engine, and front-end tools. This data sources, it includes the operational databases, right? Operational databases, which gives you the operational databases are basically, yeah, those are giving you this, I mean, all the data, okay? And the other sources here, then comes the data storage, which basically which relates to a warehouse. Where, as we know, that warehouse data warehouse is used to store a number of huge amount of data, right? So which includes metadata and processes over your monitoring and integration, and also we have data marts here. So these are the data storages. We can perform ETL operations here: extract, transform, load, and refresh. These are the OLAP operations which are performed on a data warehouse, which we will see in our next lectures. The third component of a multi-tiered data warehouse architecture is the OLAP engine, which includes OLAP server. And the fourth component is the front-end tools. So these are basically analysis, query, reports, and data mining. So here we are actually applying these front-end tools for analysis of the data. We also use certain queries. We also generate reports here, and we use data mining techniques. There are three types of data warehouse models: enterprise warehouse, data mart, and virtual warehouse. Let's see what this means in detail here. So enterprise warehouse, it is subject oriented. So it will collect all the information about the subjects, spanning the entire organization. For example, if I want to I mean, visualize or analyze a data or information about a university. So I can make use of an enterprise warehouse there, which will collect all the information about all the subjects. So the subjects of a university includes the number of institutes, the departments, then yeah, uh, then basically the subjects means the faculty, students, staff, etc. So it enterprise warehouse, it will collect the information, all the information about the subjects in an entire organization. Data marts here are only limited to a set of people. Okay, so for example, a subset of corporate wide data that is of value to a specific group of users. So here, that's what it's saying, that the scope is confined to specific, only specific and selected group of users here. So So data mart is only used by some set of people. So let us take an example of maybe the top business management level users. Management level users can make use of a data mart. So there is a limited access to data marts here. The third type of warehouse is virtual warehouse. Here, a set of views over the operational databases. So here only the summary of the views can be obtained, not the entire multi-dimensional view is given here. So we generally make use of enterprise warehouse and data marts. So this was about the differentiation between OLTP and OLAP, and also the architecture of data multi-tier architecture of a data warehouse and three data warehouse models. So in the next lecture, we will start with extraction, transformation, and loading. So thank you for listening.